Who is it? Captain America? No. Iron Man? No. Who is it? Tigra? No. Jack of Hearts? No. Silverclaw Triathlon? Moon Knight? No. Who is it? So, The Eternals is out in theaters now, and I thought I should do some Eternals content. So I went back and started reading the old Eternals run from Jack Kirby back in the 70s, and I thought, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. I liked the concept quite a bit, made me excited to see the movie, but I didn't feel like doing a video on it. And I know there's that other run from 2008, I think, that was really good, but I didn't feel like reading that either, and I started thinking, a couple of the Eternals were in the Avengers, so I went back and I reread Cersei's run in the Avengers, and I was not floored by that either. And then I remembered there was somebody I was forgetting. Almost like there was a forgotten one in the Avengers. Back in Jack Kirby's first run of the Eternals, in Eternals number 13, he introduced the Forgotten One. An Eternal that's kind of used to walk the Earth, but now he's not really allowed to, and he kind of just has to stay forgotten. But then Sprite comes, because there's some astronauts being attacked by deviants in space, and all the other Eternals are busy, so the Forgotten One's like, heck yeah, I'm gonna suit up and go fight these bad guys in space, and he does, and he gets defeated. No, he doesn't get defeated. He beats up the bad guys, saves the astronauts, and then kind of gets forgotten to float off into space, where he's eventually picked up and he's renamed as Hero, and it's this whole thing, and he has to go fight with Thor and Hercules and stuff. And then after that, he kind of disappeared for a while. And then Inferno happened. Inferno is this whole other thing. Inferno was a big X-Men event where demons were just all over New York. Demons took over New York. It spread out to other books, the Avengers, obviously, as we'll talk about, and Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. Because of the X-Men shenanigans, demons were all over New York. Cool concept. Again, not something I cared for. So as we find ourselves in Avengers 299, the whole Avengers team is kind of without direction at the moment. There really aren't any Avengers. And Captain America is currently going by the Captain, and he's like, holy crap, there are demons all over New York, man. I gotta do something about this. So he's like, I know. I'm going to talk to Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four, who is currently not with the Fantastic Four. He goes to find Mr. Fantastic and Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman, and as he gets there, this robot egg nanny has kidnapped Franklin Richards. There's so much interesting stuff here, but it's not even actually that interesting. Anyway, Franklin Richards has been kidnapped, and Mr. Fantastic's like, well, this sucks. We gotta get my son. Cap, what did you want? And Cap's like, don't worry about it. Like, we'll go save your son, obviously. Demons are on the back burner right now. I'm sure the X-Men or somebody's on that. And they go and they start looking into it, and they fight Nanny and the robots, and it's weird. And then we go to Olympia, and Thena, I believe, is like the leader of the Eternals, is like, holy crap, there are monsters on Earth. Hey, Forgotten One. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, go to Earth and fight some monsters. He's like, oh boy, monsters? I do love to fight some monsters. You're gonna let me go? And she's like, yeah, go, get. And then he makes some armor and he goes down to Earth to fight some monsters. And as Captain America and Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman are fighting these robots, because there's demons everywhere, but they're like, no, we got. And I get it, they gotta focus on their son. This guy shows up and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight some monsters. Can I help you guys fight monsters? And they're like, yeah, please. So they do. And they defeat Nanny and the robots, one of which was Franklin Richards, but then a demon comes and steals Franklin Richards and takes off, and they're like, let's go get this kid back. And he's like, man, I'm gonna come with you if there's monsters. Call me Gilgamesh. And they're like, okay. And they go to chase this demon that stole Franklin, and then they see some thunder and lightning, and they're like, oh man. Captain America's like, dude, we're gonna get another Avenger, and Thor is there. And then they defeat the monsters, and then they go back to the Richards' home for some milk and cookies. And Captain America's like, only if they're Toll House cookies. And it's like, wow, Cap has weird preferences. So they go back, and while Franklin is sleeping, they make the pact, and they form the greatest team the Avengers has ever seen. I just mentioned Franklin Richards a lot, and it made me think of something that you guys should all check out. It's my buddy Segan Retro's channel. He did a really good video with his opinions on Franklin Richards. He does a lot of great videos. If you like my stuff slopped together, you are gonna really love his stuff that is like meticulous and well done. I highly suggest checking him out. There's a link either right here, right now, or down in the comments below. I don't know all the technical stuff yet, but check out Segan Retro. Obviously, this is not the greatest Avengers team ever assembled. I don't know off the top of my head what I believe is, but it certainly isn't this. It is very interesting to see Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman as Avengers, especially because, like, as they go on, they kind of solve problems themselves, because Mr. Fantastic is like, I'm a super genius, and I usually just do this, and solve that. And Captain America's like, you didn't run that plan by me, and that's upsetting. That's not how we do it in the Avengers. And so that dynamic is actually pretty cool. As for Gilgamesh's contributions, he certainly was there. He was basically the strong guy on the team that already included Thor, and then later would include She-Hulk. Like, Gilgamesh did not really get much character development, and he was just, like I said, kind of there. Somehow he did survive a merger of the West Coast and East Coast teams when they brought in, like, everybody, and, like, we're just gonna get, like, a few of them, and it was a team with, like, She-Hulk and Namor, and it's like, well, why do you need Gilgamesh when you've got the muscle and history and color of these other characters? But before too long, Gilgamesh went up against a monster that was just too much monster for him, and he got knocked the fuck out. And he was unconscious for like 3 issues, and then they went and like, oh, maybe these other Eternals can help, and the Eternals were teleported off to the negative zone, and it was odd. And they fought, and they're like, oh, here, just take Gilgamesh, take him back and help him get better. Like, oh, he's already getting better, and the Avengers were like, no, that's fine, we're already out the door. Like, you just help Gilgamesh get better. And then he didn't really appear much after that. Every once in a while they were like, let's have an event where we have all the people that have ever been Avengers, and we're putting together a team to go to space, and Gilgamesh would be there in the background, and he did appear. He did some stuff here and there, but really nothing much with the Avengers, until Avengers The Crossing. Not going to talk about, but it was horrible, and Gilgamesh just showed up to die. So they could be like, ew, an Avenger died, I guess. And everybody's like, who the heck is Gilgamesh? And he died. He got better because he's an Eternal. And he truly was the forgotten Avenger. To the point that during Avengers Disassembled, when they brought together all the Avengers, they're like, here, look at us. We all came because we were all Avengers. We came to help the Avengers on their darkest day. There's this group shot of all the Avengers, and Gilgamesh isn't there. I don't think Cersei is either, but I mean, we got Silverclaw and Triathlon and Living Laser, like, everybody's there, but no Gilgamesh. But now that's all maybe going to change. The Eternals are getting a MCU movie. Don Lee is playing Gilgamesh. Maybe this Gilgamesh will go on to join some of the Avengers. I honestly don't know. The MCU does things drastically different from the comics, so it could be anything. I feel like maybe Cersei will go that way. Maybe Icarus. I honestly don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I'm excited to. Anyway, if Gilgamesh is your favorite Avenger, leave a like. And since that didn't work, just let me know in the comments below who your favorite Avenger is, and like the video and subscribe. And I'm Haussmann17, and check out Seek and Retro, and like me on Twitter or whatever. Do all the stuff you're supposed to do, because if you're enjoying this content, interacting with me through it boosts the algorithm or something. I still don't understand YouTube, but thank you very much for watching. Bye.